Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. How are you this Sunday morning? I am so happy to see I got a couple of y'all already here and y'all ready. Angela, first one in this morning. Good morning. Angela, Clarissa, Deborah. Glad y'all were able to get in here early. Okay, yeah, those were the only ones. All right. How are you guys doing this morning? I see we have a couple more hanging out. Y'all come on in and say hello, say good morning. We know we missed yesterday, so we're gonna try to make up for it today. My week was good, Angela. I did good. I was good. My day yesterday I had a what we called, it wasn't a family reunion, they called it a family picnic. So we were out there all day yesterday. By the time I got home, I just went to sleep. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't worrying about doing any reviews for any skits or anything. I actually did watch them, but I couldn't do a review. I was tired. Hey Yvette, how you doing? Hey Dolly. Good morning, Carla. Said no more Shayla and Denisha and Anthony for 2 months. Well, did we tell y'all earlier that basically that in order for Anthony and Denisha to get the views, Shayla has to be there. So you knew what they were going to do with Shayla's character. She was going to be Crash Out Queen. Hey, Bree Bree. You knew Shayla was going to be a Crash Out Queen because she has to do something to help to get people to watch. And yesterday was just out of this world. This is like Shayla. Yep, Bree. Yeah, they definitely need Shayla. They needed Shayla. They have to have Shayla because a lot of people don't like Denisha. I think the moving Denisha into the house was where he kind of went wrong, where the kind of line went wrong. I think him and her dating is fine, but I think that moving her into that house is what kind of like people don't accept. Now you with her, you're dating her with her. Amber's dating Dave, you dating Denisha. Okay, fine. No, we can't have a problem with that. If we don't have a problem with Amber, we don't can't have a problem with Anthony. But if we moving her in that house, yeah, that's a problem. And that is the biggest problem for most people. Other than that, they probably could do something, I don't know what, to carry this storyline on their own. But after doing that, they need O'Shayla to get in there and mess it up. They definitely needed Shayla. Carla said you felt the same. But Carla said I feel the same way. And everybody speaking to each other. And Bree said Rain dedicated a whole weekend to Anthony and Denisha. Yeah, again, they're trying to give him traction. So that's why they sent them back to her hometown to give her a backstory. We got the opportunity to see Big Eye's father and see what that relationship, because he may be wind up in the in the skits in one way or another. We don't know yet. And then meeting her mother and her cousin, that also played a big role. So they had to bring all that in just so that they may have to use it later or not, but at least we have her background story a little bit. So But they do that with everybody, especially when they're getting ready to make them a main character. I didn't see them do that with Anthony though. I didn't see Anthony's I don't remember seeing his other relatives besides Coca. And those Coco's not his, I don't think she's his real relative. I think there's something else, but yeah, I don't know. Carla says, to be honest, Shayla made the skit. A&D is a snooze feast. So fast. Yeah, what we've been saying all along. Bree said it was a turnoff for a lot of people. Denisha moving into the house was over the top. Yeah, and that's what lost some people. So they have to do something to kind of get the people back. Maybe they can move them out of that house and onto their own, but who knows? Clarissa says, and you paid attention to how much money he was spending on her, on both of them. Should have waited for divorce was final. Yeah. I don't know where that money's coming from. It's coming from an account that he can readily get access to. So he's spending it how he spend it. But like he told Shayla, whatever her rent is, that's pocket change, basically. According to him, that's pocket change. He got way more than that. It won't hurt him at all. So whatever he gave Denisha's mother, the money he gave her and the money he spent on the party and all the trip, pocket change. That's how they do. When it's pocket change, they just trick it off. What they said, it ain't tricking if you got it. So he got it. Angela said, Bree, good morning. Wayne knew if there was Dave and Amber, no one would watch Anthony and Denisha. Yeah. Keisha's saying, happy Sunday. Good morning, Hope. And Bree says, facts. We haven't seen Dave and Amber in a skit together in over a week. Yeah, they'll be back because he has to get that house. Angela said, Wayne knows no one was going to watch Denisha and Anthony yesterday, so he dropped Shayla in. Now, y'all remember last year, we were all complaining about Shayla, but not Anthony, Wayne said Shayla was his number one moneymaker. Remember that now. She was it. She was the one that was drawing the people in to watch a lot of the skits. So that's why she's front and center right now. She drawing them in because she plays crazy to the max. That's her thing. If you need a crazy person, go get Shayla. Dolly says, Bree, it's definitely turned me off of watching Anthony. That was a teetotal mess, Hope said. Keisha said, bet Buddy and Denisha together are boring. Well, until he start acting a fool. And Angela said, is Anthony paying Denisha to stay with him? I don't know. They haven't given us any indication that he is, like he gives her a monthly stipend or something. Okay. Hope says, I can't believe how simple Tamara is. Yeah, that was tough. Keisha said, Buddy is buying the acceptance from Denisha and her family. Well, he did that yesterday. They were all so happy with Anthony. Bree says, do y'all think Tamara is scared of Shayla? I don't think she's really scared of Shayla. I don't know what her problem is. Why she rides so hard for Shayla. It's like, cause she's like, this is my best friend. And I'm like, Yeah, well, she's your best friend because you alienated your other friends who were your best friends. And I don't understand why. Maybe because she has no other friends really. And Shayla is, if nothing else, Shayla is loyal. So just like Tamara rode for her, Shayla down to go ride with the if you need to go somewhere and do something, Shayla is a rider. So maybe that's why. I don't know. But I thought about it too. I was like, why is she your best friend? And you kind of do whatever she says doing. I like they got the hold that Angelina has over Shayla, that stuff she be putting in her head. It seems like Shayla's putting it into Piari and Tamara's head. I don't know. Bree says Shayla's a bully. She the only bully that don't know how to fight. Keisha's like, I want to see Constance. I need to. We're not gonna see her until sometime later in the month. Think they only come on once a month, so we can't see them every day like we see Kendrick and Natasha. Betty says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Betty. Thanks for stopping in. Yvette is like, we've seen Anthony's sister and Coco, who she said she raised them. Yeah, I don't yeah, those are the only two that we've seen. And like I said, I don't know if Coca is actually his relative, his real relative or not, but I know some of these people that we see when they're doing these backstories, these are their real relatives. They're not, actors and stuff. So I'm not sure with Anthony's. His sister may have been his real sister. I was going to say sister, but I didn't think of it. So maybe it was only him and his sister. Shireen says, good morning. And Keisha says, I needed to see the big plan she has. Who was that? Angelina? Oh, you talking about Constance. I don't, because the way they do it, it's like so chopped up. It's like, yeah, so she says I got a plan, and then she called and she ruffled the lady feathers, and then the other, whatever her name is, she calls Anthony and they come up with this number, and then it's just dropped. And I don't know what that does. So it's like maybe she got back to Constance, but we won't know it for another month. And that's what makes that hard. That's why they need to just get this divorce done, because this slow walking once a month thing, they know we getting skits every day. And by the time you get back to the divorce, we forgot what happened before. Angela says, well, still don't like Shayla, but she did did drama great. Yeah, she did. You can't deny her that. Bree says, how is Shayla the number one moneymaker? Her views are views higher than Amber's. They were last year. She was last year. Now I think it flipped this year, but last year a lot of people, probably even in the chat, can tell you Wayne said that she was his number one moneymaker. I'm not saying it. Wayne said it. Angela says we need a skit with Dan and you know, from the way she acted yesterday, I was like, yeah, Shayla and Dan. Those two, oh my God. Yes. Those two would definitely be gold together. They be all in all kind of mess. But Dan just don't have no money, enough money for Shay. Oh, Yvette is saying that Shayla and Bethany are the money makers. I'm sure they are. Bethany definitely, she started out, nobody liked her. And then They flipped her storyline and she started getting a lot more traction. Thank you, Hope, for the jewel silver star. Thank you. Bree says, do y'all think Shayla can carry a storyline on her own without Amber? Um, I don't know that she could carry it on her own. I guess it depends. Well, she did. Well, she had her storyline with her and Iman. Amber was nowhere in that, and I think it still did pretty good numbers. The stuff with her and Iman before they got Delicia to be snaking her, but I think she was doing okay with that. Her and Anthony did okay. Her and Anthony were fine, even though Amber was a small part of it. Amber wasn't really in it at one point, and her and Anthony did okay. It was Hope says Denisha's family was happy with Anthony's money. I'm sure they were, but that was her mother's money, not their money. They ain't get none at all. Shireen says, oh, let's dive into the phone call that Denisha made to Tamara. I find it to be very funny. Okay. I listened. To me, she was right in a few ways. It's like Tamara is totally loyal to Shayla because she wanted to call Denisha and give her a heads up or even, or tell her something. But Shayla is like, no, you can't. Don't do it. And she went along with them. Like, I would have called her anyway. It's like, of course you're both people's friends, and it's kind of hard to be friends with two people that are beefing, and you know why, and you knew that that's what was going to happen because Shayla and Denisha's going to take it in a different way, but Shayla is going to go down that crazy path, and you couldn't head it off. So that was twice she did that to Denisha. So her and Denisha will no longer be friends or probably workers. Denisha will probably just quit her job because Tamara has shown that she can't be a friend to both of them. And I don't know that she would be a good employer at that point either. So I would like probably if I was Denisha and I knew I had somebody that was going to pay all my bills and not worry about it, I'd let that job go because you can't trust Tamara in those situations anymore. She's not trustworthy. Angela said, Brie, good question because Shayla can't be a star because she can't carry a storyline by herself. If Shayla going to be a star, she has to carry it by herself. Dolly says Shayla's views aren't as high as Amber's. However, Shayla has to carry a storyline with someone else because she can't do it alone. Yeah, we know her views aren't as high as Amber's, but she was pretty high. I'm just telling you what people said last year with Shayla that Wayne said that she was it. And that's why his reasons for protecting her because she was making the money. Yvette says Tamara hung out with the West Side Boys. Now she's with the woman. Well, she did, but Sinatra said Denisha's family is happy with Anthony because of the money, if nothing else. Yeah, they are. Hi, Tina. Good morning. Thanks for stopping by. Angela says Dolly exactly until she can carry her own by herself. She can't be a star. Tina. Yvette says bully can't do nothing. Bully that can't do nothing. She don't fight, but that Tina's speaking to Dolly is like, yeah, she's a bully though. And always got somebody to hold her back. Let me find that one. Ah, yeah, that's her right there. They holding her back. So she always got somebody to hold her back. And always got somebody holding her back. And so you see, they all about Buddy's money. Well, of course they are. I don't know if they had somebody else that did all that. But I mean, of course, if somebody gonna give somebody $10,000 in your presence, that's kind of like, oh wow. Good morning, Eklund, and happy Sunday to you as well. Angela said, Buddy paying for acceptance. Of course he can. Of course he can pay for it. That's how he leads. He pays for acceptance. He paid that's leading with his money. Sunita says, yes, Angela. Angela, hey, Eklund, hey. Good morning, all. Hey, Michelle. Bree said, Angela, she can't carry her own storyline. She needs Amber, just like Anthony. Sunita says, Denisha knows what she's getting into. So, what everybody happened, what she need to tack it, but she's getting into. So, whatever happens, she just need to tack it. Well, she knows what she's getting into. Bree says, exactly. Please hurry up with the divorce. Dolly says, Anthony, the only person afraid of Shayla's manipulation and mouth. That is the truth. He is like, she punks him every time. It's like, Anthony, oh, now you're going to pay her rent. So Denise, Denise, I keep getting these names. I want to call them Denicia or something. But Denisha telling him to handle Shayla is not you paying for her rent. That's not it, Anthony. I'm like, you gonna pay the girl rent? You gonna pay her rent? That's your solution to handling it. Denisha, you need to give him some help, some lessons, because he needs to take her to court and put her on paper. Hey Donna, how you doing? Thanks for stopping in. And Eklund says, anyway, the skit with Shayla crashing the party will be reaching 1 million, of course, because Shayla was crashing. I mean, yeah, she was crashing out. And that's the best of Shayla. It's like if you want best of Shayla, it's a crash out reel. Eglin says Shayla on top with views because people love villains. That's true also. Well, I tell y'all, Wayne, he got a method to the madness, even though sometimes you don't like the madness. We don't like the method. He has a method to his madness. Angela says, does Anthony think the divorce is final because Amber not coming to the house? and he think Amber took the little change he offered. I really don't think so. Um, I don't know what Anthony thinks at this point. That little speech he gave Shayla about ex your friend and Amber, she not getting 50%. I want him to keep that same thing when she get more than 50. When you go to a judge and the judge tells him it's more than 50 because of XYZ, that is like she probably didn't deserve it, but being that how he reacted and how he hid money from her and all that, and if he's worth like some 20 million or something, he's hiding all of that money because his attorney said, well, you only make 3 million a year, but that's not his total worth, that's not his total asset. So what does he have on paper that he's worth? 3 million? Nope, that's not the right number. And that's where he gonna get caught up. So Amber will get more. Bree says, can y'all imagine Dan and Shayla in a skit? I think they both could give each other lessons because that would be scary. It would just be scary because Dan scared me the other day with Lauren, the way he was talking to her, because you would think that he was going to hit her. For in real life, a man that's out of control like that would hit a woman. And then Shayla over there with that mouth popping off between the two of them, who whatever they're trying to get out of somebody, they would get, because those two would be scary. That would be a scary situation. Clarissa says, "Do you think she's gonna retire?" She can't. Shoot, how she gonna retire? Yes, ma'am, and yes, ma'am is how she gonna make her money from the next man. Or she gonna make it from Anthony one way or another. She gonna make it from the next man. Angela said, "True." Brief. Ah, Sunita says Denisha could call Honey Pot for nothing because she told her what Aunt bring. Well, yeah, she said he was drama. I think Denisha thought that they were cooler than what they are. Shayla comes first. In Tamara's eyes, Shayla comes first. So, Denisha, unfortunately, you're not that kind of friend to her. Dolly says Shayla's the female version of Dan. Yeah, she is. But I think Dan could do some damage. Shayla can just talk. Eglin says, say it louder, Sydney. The Denisha was out of pocket to call Tamara. Well, I can't say she was out of pocket to call her. She called her because she thought that her and Tamara were better friends than they are. But she didn't understand the level of friendship between Tamara and Shayla. And then the other thing, somebody has to be there to hold Shayla back, hold her down, whatever, because she would totally get out of line. Um, Angela says Shayla and Iman's storyline was going good at first, but then it dropped when they started repeating the same thing. Yeah. Donna says Anthony was wrong for not having a conversation with Shayla, of course. Tamara is just a lost puppy who can't stand on her own 2 feet, and Shayla gave Anthony too much information about the legitimation. When Shayla said that, I was like, this man did not do that. I don't understand because at the courts they tell men that that's what you have to do. I know sometimes they do because I know in Georgia just signing the birth certificate means nothing. You have to do that. And I don't know where they tell you at, but they tell you that you have to do this procedure in order to be in this. Well, if you put them on child support, they have no choice but to get to go through the legitimation process, because if it turns out not to be that person's child, the state is not going to be responsible. So they don't want to be responsible for it. So yeah, but and she gave him the information about legitimation. Denisha said you didn't do it. Did you not do it? He didn't never say that he was going to go back and do it, go to court and do it, because he has to go back and do it at the county courthouse or wherever. He didn't say he was going to do that at all, which is stupid. Angela says Denisha thinks she's the queen of the Dalton Castle. Well, right now she is. Hey, Magnolia, thank you for stopping by this morning, lady. Dolly says Tamara shouldn't have answered Denisha's call. However, they needed to make the skit. Yeah. Angela said Denisha needed to step back. This is between Shayla and Anthony. Why she keep getting involved? She getting involved because she has to deal with Shayla. And really, I think she's kind of there also. Part of her, them having her with him in those skits is to teach him some stuff. And he's not learning the lessons because she's trying to teach him how you deal with a baby mama. And but he won't deal with Shayla in the way that he needs to. He needs to take her to go to court, file for he needs to, well, he don't want to give up no money. That's the other thing also. So he doesn't want to have to pay her child support through the courts. That's why he keeps doing it the way that he's doing it. And but he's at her beck and call whenever she needs something, whenever she wants him to do something, however much it costs, whatever. And let instead of him getting them to give him a guideline of how much money he needs to pay and how visitation and everything is supposed to go. See, he won't do that. He won't set the boundaries. And Denisha's trying to tell him set these boundaries. If he don't set the boundaries, she's gonna be gone. And then that's when they're gonna open the door for him and Shayla to go back. Cause I don't blame her. I wouldn't be with him either if he don't set them boundaries. Sunita's saying, yes, Eklund, Denisha tell Honeypot to stay out of her business and she only loyal to her son, so she don't have any right to call her. Yeah. Magnolia saying hello to people. Yvette saying it's not special AM. Angela said, do you guys notice yesterday when Anthony gave Denisha's mom the mom the money, he hugged Denisha and tried to kiss her, and she turned her face and she didn't even want to hug him. Oh, I didn't notice that. Mm. Maybe she didn't approve of him giving her the money. She probably did. And Anthony, why you give somebody that much money in a room full of other people? I understand he wanted to give it to her, but why not wait until later? Why would you give her that money in a room full of people? These are not people of a lot of means. You don't know who's in that room and why they in that room. You know, different people's, there's always somebody in the family or close to the family that has a little record, and they do a little, five-finger discount here or there. They do a little break-ins or something. You don't know who's in the room. You don't even know the people in the room. And you're going to give her that kind of money. You could be setting her up. And that might have been why Tanisha was like, no. But I'm sure he didn't tell her that he was going to do it because Anthony thinks he could just make these grand gestures and everything will be okay. Can't do that. Donna says Denisha isn't going anywhere. She has found the idiot who happens to be a rich cash cow. Yeah, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Denisha's there for the long haul. She's there to get real money. Those little $10,000 things, it's okay. But I think she's there to get at the big bucks. Like she needs to get Kai's college tuition paid for, and stuff like that. She needs to get a house and have her name be on the house. Like Amber's getting the house and getting her name on that deed. Denisha's gonna get a house and have her name on the deed. She's not gonna be in no rental like Shayla. Like she's gonna get her an actual house for her and her son. And Dolly says, think about it. How Denisha talked to Tamara when she was trying to warn her about Anthony, which could have played a part in Tamara siding with Shayla. It could have, but I think Tamara is just loyal to Shayla. Shayla got her little minions and they go do whatever. She see how she got Piari in trouble over there going to Sade's house and got her locked up. She put that battery in her bag and make no use. Like you got a few laughs yesterday and you skipped most of it. Yeah, it was funny. Definitely funny. So 24 likes, 32 watching. Okay, guys, for whoever's watching, I see we went down. Let's hit that like button. And Bree says, Angela, I don't think Denisha is really into Anthony. There's no chemistry there at all. And I remember when Tamara said to Denisha that Anthony is not her type. Guess you change your type if you got money. And Michelle said Tamara told Denisha Anthony was toxic and she knew that Tamara was dealing with Shayla and Amber. Yeah. And Sunita says, you know what, Eklund, Shayla, and Honeypot should show up with the police, and Shayla should say, Anthony, you're playing family and still married and don't want to sign the papers. Well, they should have did that part. But the police, they would have been waiting all night for the police to come out there. That was if she would have said he kidnapped her baby, then she would have gotten them over there quicker. Tina says holding her back using Kai as a shield. Yeah, that's the part that I don't like. They used Kai as a shield from when he was a baby. She would always be arguing and have Kai in her arms. And in this shot right here, it wasn't this one, but it was another one where Kai's face showed fear. And I'm like, y'all got to get him out of, you got to keep him out of these scenes because she's always like, my baby, and I don't want you howling around my baby. But she's the main one that's always hollering and screaming around him. And that's not good. Unless they're putting earplugs in his ear, he's hearing this stuff now, and I don't like it at all. Like they need to stop that. So we need to start saying, keep Kai out of these scenes where there's a lot of yelling, and especially keep him out of Shayla's arms because it's too much. That baby had fear on his face when they were doing this scene right here. And it's like, no, that wasn't the right move. That baby should have went to somebody else, but she got to have a shield because she can't fight. She just got mouth, and then she would have been like, "Oh, you hit me with my baby." Eklund said, "I'm convinced that Shayla was calm because she and Anthony crossed the line. Hint, they showed them coming out of the house." You think? You think? I hope not. I just hope not. They were both pretty calm then, and we didn't see what happened before. You think she employed the yes ma'am to get her rent paid? I wouldn't put it past Shayla. She said the yes ma'am was gonna get her paid through retirement. So and Dolly said Shayla and Tamara both should go to the West Side. So they need to go back over on the West Side and get them a storyline. They ain't no match for Momo over there. Magnolia saying, telling everybody to hit the like button, share, subscribe. But yeah, that's a lot. Those two. Donna says, the thing I hate so badly is both Kai's lose. They seem to hear way too much dysfunction. Yes, they do. Y'all can do the dysfunction and take the kids off the set. It is too much. I know for Big Kai, he understands. He could understand that this is a sketch. This is not real. These are just we're just acting. But little Kai doesn't know the difference. All he knows is the yelling, hollering, and screaming. And Shayla yells with the best of them. I wouldn't even want to go to her as a child if all I know every time she hold me, just about she yelling. And Bree says you can tell Anthony is not Denisha's type by the men she's dated, her baby daddy and Karis. Yeah, I don't think Karis was really her type either. She was dating Karis to try to find out some information. Angela says Anthony was more hurt. Shayla ruined his perfect image yesterday in front of his new fake family. Yeah, she did. She ruined that image. A man with the can't control the uncontrollable baby daddy, but they used to that in that room. Ain't no big. That's not the first time they've seen that before. And Dolly says Shayla's a verbal bully. Oh yeah, she is. And Sunithia says, I can't wait for baby Kai's part because Anthony is going to bring Denisha unless she meets Angelina. Oh my God, the party. Oh, this will be like last year's party where they didn't want Amber to come. Now, this year, Amber will be invited, but Denisha won't be invited. And Anthony's going to bring Denisha because he's paying for it. Oh yeah, and she told me she spent a lot. That 15,000 last year was too much. Now you're gonna spend what 20 or 30? Donna says it's way overdue to finalize this reckoning. It is, but I don't know why they got us waiting. I'm hoping they can get rid of this thing this month and let Anthony and Denisha go on to whatever they're gonna do. Let him go hurry up and marry her without a prenup. Then we have to go back through his little stupid self all over again, getting taken for a ride. Angela says Bree, but Tamara told her Anthony was not her type, and she said what that have to do with it. Don't have nothing to do with it. Yeah, she went for the money. I think she went for the money. She started with the short game. Yes, Anita. And when she Eklund saying hey to Dolly, and when she realized how dumb he is, she decided, oh, I'm in this for the long haul. I can get a whole lot more than just, here money here and there. Cause she don't ask for no money because she knows that she could get more down the line than what she's going to ask what she can get, and he just will willingly give her money, but she can get a whole lot more. She gonna get him to marry her, and she's gonna be suing him in divorce for 50% or whatever percentage she can get. Bree says, remember that the Amber hater said Dave was Denisha's baby daddy. I can't get over that statement. Well, people, the name of the game in some of these things is, can I guess what's going to happen next? Or can I guess more to the storyline? And that's all they're doing. They're just thinking of possibilities for the storyline, and most of them are wrong because we don't know. We're usually surprised by how the storyline goes. Now, this using Shayla as their person that pulls the ratings in for this couple, yeah, that was almost predictable. But where that's going to go, we have no idea how that storyline is going to go, because they can't keep Shayla doing this all along. So we don't know. And you'll have people that are going to try to predict where the storyline's going to go. It's like, we don't know. Because she can't keep crashing out, because we get tired of crash out Shayla after a while. She's only good in short, in small spurts. Angela said, Shayla told Anthony Kai's birthday party she's gonna run up the tab, so he better go to work to pay for it. Yeah, I heard that. She had to say something after he told her what he told her, which was a idle threat, because he really didn't tell her anything. He told me, yeah, and this rent right here, this ain't nothing. Yeah, right. And Sunita said, everyone tired of Anthony saying sorry. So stupid. Yeah, the sorries are really like, just don't do it. Just make better decisions. Magnolia says, Bree, I had to gloat on Facebook about that. Y'all all knew good and well Dave wasn't going to be oh Lord. Yeah. But they gotta try it. Yvette says Wayne's World is wild. Oh yes, it is. It's a wild ride. That is for sure. Donna says Denisha can't handle her own baby daddy drama, but she can demand Anthony handles Shayla. Denisha didn't care. She saw an opportunity and she will see it through. That's what I say, Donna. She sees the opportunity because she already see he makes poor decisions. And Sunita says Anthony think he's winning because of what the lawyer told him, but he gonna cry. Yeah, because she told him, oh, they ready to settle, and Amber is not ready to settle, honey. And Bree says, Meg, they heated. They heated. I'm gonna keep bringing that up to every chance I get. Y'all leave them people on Facebook alone. They're gonna start bringing up. They're gonna bring up to y'all that Amber slept with Wayne before the during the engagement. That's the main thing that everybody. Well, Amber slept with Wayne. It's like, okay, we got it. We got that now. And Michelle says Anthony doesn't want to go to court because he doesn't want his finances revealed. So that is a question that I had. And it's not just in terms of the divorce, but also in terms of even him going taking Shayla to court and getting her, of setting boundaries with her, like child custody, the whole nine. Why is it that he doesn't want to go to court? Because it's strange to me that he won't go and handle her legally, because she's the type of baby mama that needs to be handled legally. She cannot You can't just make an arrangement with her and everything will be okay. He sees that over and over and over again. Wherever she can get in and do something different, she will. So I don't understand why it is that he won't just go to court. I'm almost thinking that he got more to hide than some money, because he keep, threatening people. But it seems like maybe he got more to hide than some money, and that's why he don't want to be in court. I don't know. It's just a question, because we know he don't want his finances revealed, but they don't have to go to court to do that. The attorney can have already have searched and revealed his finances. She doesn't, Amber's attorney doesn't have to go by what they say his finances are. She could do another deep dive and actually found out exactly how much he's worth, and that he has money hidden, because Amber knows that. His attorney doesn't know it, but Amber does. And I'm sure her attorney does. Dolly says Anthony said sorry for the 5011 time plus one. Lord, every day he's sorry 5 times a day. Vet says Anthony may be moving in Denisha's house. I doubt it. They'll probably have him a different house. Eklund said, Miss B, I've been saying Amber won her case from the moment Anthony said amen, because his prayers was answered. Anthony is going to be humbled, and for him to be humble, he has to lose everything. He's going to lose most of it, yeah. He'll probably lose a lot of it. I don't know if they're going to make him broke, but, and I'm going to say, at the rate it's going, shoot, everybody that says that Kai is not his, do you think they'll throw that in there? That he'll have to go back and get the legitimation and get a court ordered paternity test that can't be tampered with at all. And lo and behold, Kai is not your baby. You are not the father. That would break him down. That would really break him. And Angela said Dave is too decent for the type of man Denisha is being with, and looking at Big Kai's father. He looked like a bum. Dave is a decent person. Well, yeah, he looks like one. He's a hood guy. That's all he is. He's a hood guy. Bree says now the letter Pepper Ann wrote. Magnolia, Pepper Ann, and of course I know who you're talking about. Pepper Ann wrote today for Blabbermouth to give to him. Says she's what? And the other one is Baby David. Oh, it's Melissa's and Dave's child. So that's what the thing is. She's saying she's pregnant. Okay. Well, if she is, then she should have given that to him on her own. And the other one, Baby David, is going to be Melissa and Dave's child. Well, that means she gave that one up for adoption. And I wouldn't believe that Dave would give up a child for adoption if he knew that that was his child. So I wouldn't. I don't believe that. I don't know where people get that from now. That's wild, but yeah, he wouldn't give the child up for adoption. Facebook does a whole lot of stuff over there. That's why I can't get with Facebook. They have too much going around, and you'll have people in other people's chats, and they will be saying that baby David is Dave and Melissa's child, and they will swear up and down that it's true, but it was just a theory that somebody threw out. And Sunita says Anthony is no businessman. He thinks he's a businessman. Without Roe, Anthony don't know how to make money. It seems like it, because Rolanda was getting them all the real estate. It seems as though you don't have a new realtor. What's the name? Got a realtor over there. Um, Dave's ex-girlfriend. Shall you bring her in the mix? Either Anthony or Wayne gonna go for her. One of the two of them will be with her. Now, what if they bring her in the mix for it to be Anthony and Wayne's new business partner? That would be a twist. And then Wayne or Anthony, one of the two of them will go for her because they can't keep their hands off of new women that come in the skit. So. And Deborah says Shayla, Dan, and Libby. That's a crazy match. Libby takes the case. Libby is she has the privileged white woman down packed, all the way down packed. Nothing. That girl she plays great, great crazy. Also, she's better at playing crazy than Shayla is. Shayla just be loud and crazy, but Libby be loud, crazy, and be right on point. Angela says Anthony too cocky. He thinks he's above the law. I guess he does. Amber and Denisha both said Anthony's always saying he's sorry. Yeah, that's all he says is I'm sorry. It's like you make bad decisions. And Shireen says, let's remember when Tamara told her friend not to mess with Anthony. And then she came back and told her, oh, how I'm going to take this job with Wayne because I have loyalty to me and my son. Yeah. And I understood it. She said she had loyalty to her and her son because Tamara said she was going to have to cut her pay, but or cut her hours, and she was like she needed the money. And then old Anthony fell in her back pocket, and that was all she wrote. She'll stop working soon. And Bree says, Mag, remember Amber haters are sick. Donna says, since Shayla busted up the party, she should have told Anthony won't sign the divorce papers and had a baby with his wife's best friend while there. That wasn't in Shayla's plan right there. She don't care. She don't care about any of that. Now, if Amber would have did it, that's what would have been told. But Shayla don't care about the divorce papers or having the baby with the wife's best friend while he was married. That's because that's her baby, and she's the one that's about. Amber's the only one that cares about that. Dolly says, I didn't like when Dan grabbed Lauren's leg, the arm the other day. Yeah, that's why I said he's scared because he played it right too. They got him to play it right up until the point that you felt like he was going to hit her. But him and Shayla together, that would be a wild ride. Shireen says, I have to disagree. Then tomorrow, one of her friends about Anthony, and if she was her friend, then she would have never took the job with Wayne. That's my opinion. Hey, Friendships don't go that deep on these skits, as y'all can see. There's only a couple. They go deeper than, and really, Tamara and Denisha, they call each other friends, but they're more associates that work together. They're co-workers. Tamara's actually her boss. So there's not a real friendship there. Bree says, Meg, I haven't seen that one. Baby Dave is Melissa and Dave's child. Isn't that baby full black? I think it's full black, but Facebook, they don't care about facts. Magnolia saying Bree, they were convinced the lake house lady was Dave's ex-wife too. Child, yeah. I was like, I'm glad we got the lake house lady husband so people can stop saying that she has something to do with Dave. And Bree says, Maggie, yeah, we have to just start laughing at them. These people are sick. Dolly says, Donna, Shayla made it about how Shayla felt. Oh, yeah. Bree said, I saw that. She said, Melissa is pregnant by Dave, but yeah, Bree said she's seen the rumor. Y'all stay off of Facebook. I know y'all like being over there antagonizing those people. Clarissa says, let's remember her and Momo were best friends. Yeah, they were. Oh, we know that. We remember they were best friends. And we know that Denisha was the one that was coaching Momo on how to get the money from Ralphie. So we know she got skills to get money from Anthony. That's why I said she's not there for the little bit of money. She's there for the money. She's there to get loads of money, not just a little bit. She see how 10,000 means nothing to him. 20 means nothing to him. It's she's there for a couple million. Magnolia said, Bree, I saw it again in the comment section on the Pepper Ann video this morning. Yes, baby David is full black. Not to mention she couldn't hide being pregnant from Dave working with him every day. Hey, Dave, baby David about 2 by now. Why y'all keep trying to bring baby David back? Magnolia said, hit the like button. Keisha says, Anthony might not file a legitimation petition because he's arrogant and he thinks rules and laws don't apply to him. He better go and do do the petition. Definitely. I don't understand. Like, is in the state of Georgia, you have to have it. You talking about him being your heir. You have to establish that he's your heir, Anthony. It's like they have to establish that. That's just not natural. It's not a given um if whoever Anthony's with has another baby or has a baby by somebody else, they could knock Kai out of contention by saying, well, he's never got legitimized, so he's not entitled to anything. I'm surprised Angelina didn't make sure that that was done. That's her department of guaranteeing that Kai gets what he's supposed to get. I don't get it. Angelina, that's your job. You the one that knows how to do everything. You do know how to do the research, but you missed that one. Michelle says she felt betrayed by Denisha when she took the job for the podcast receptionist. I guess she did, yeah. And Dolly says, Magnolia, that didn't make sense when they were saying Michelle was Dave's ex wife and that Teen Kai was Dave's father, was Dave's son. Yvette says, did y'all see Ben taking boxing lessons? And the men gonna hurt him. It was so funny to me. Ben is soft. Like, yeah, they was calling him Buttons. I was like, because I had missed the first one. And I could not understand why they were calling him Buttons. And I was like, they called him Benjamin Button. That was funny. Every once in a while, you need the funny skits because they were tearing Ben up. Bree says, Mags, exactly. They are crazy. You mean to tell me Melissa had no morning sickness or nothing and she was with Dave every day? And the thing was that she would have had to have a baby, be pregnant and everything. I want to know what's in that letter she done wrote. Donna says, Angela, I've been watching Denisha's body language and she lets him kiss her on the cheeks and really isn't phased by him hugging her. No, she's not. She looks like it really don't mean anything to him because she's not. I don't know. She's not. It's not like she's in love with him. Like she's like crazy about him or anything or really passionate about him. None of that. She's in it for what she can get. That's what it seems like. But that's what it seems like to me anyway. That she's in it for what she can get because there's no like real passion or anything there. But I don't understand that relationship. But maybe one day they'll show it to us. Sunita says, when Honeypot answered the phone, she should have said, did I told you about the mess that Anthony comes with it, and you told me to stay out of your business, and you're loyal to you and your son, and so that's what I've done. Yep, that's it. But they couldn't. They couldn't. That couldn't be the skit though. It would have been nice, but that couldn't be it because they wanted to show that Denisha felt betrayed by Tamara, and they wanted because they got to set up her quitting her job, and you know. Keisha says Tamara has been tired of Denisha and Shayla. I think Denisha is being a bit more of a hypocrite regarding little Kai. She knows she would have had a fit had her baby daddy done that to her. Yeah, she would have. And I think she didn't. See, the thing is that, yeah, she told Shayla, yeah, I would have had a problem with it. And she told Anthony that he was wrong because he shouldn't have done it that way. He should have at least told her or discussed it with her. What she wants Anthony to do is to step up and be a daggone man. I'm saying being a man, but being someone who is upright and just saying, hey, this is what I'm doing. Don't wait for the reaction from Shayla on the back end. Tell her, be upfront with her. But Anthony has this thing where he likes, he just gonna do it just because he thinks he has the right to do it. And it's like, no, you can't take somebody's child, even if it's Big Kai at 13, you don't just take him from Georgia to anywhere that's not right there in the vicinity Even if he took Big Kai someplace and didn't tell Denisha that that's what he was doing, she'd have a problem with it. And I don't blame her because that's her child. She's responsible for him. And if something happens, you ain't nowhere near the daggone daddy. That's the other problem for neither one of them. You're not on paper as being their fathers for real. So no, you can't just take them out of town just because you playing daddy for Big Kai and you're playing daddy for Little Kai. You got to ask the mothers. And yeah, they would have had a problem. But Anthony don't understand it. That's what Denisha need to leave him alone, but she's not. And Magnolia said, "Hey mom, they DC they saying anything as long as it affects Amber negatively. They'd be all right." Dolly said that makes no sense about Michelle being Dave's ex and Kai, teen Kai being his son. And then Dolly saying, "Hey" to Magnolia. And Angela is like true Donna. She never shows affection to Anthony. And this is the truth. She doesn't. And Keisha speaking, and then Magnolia speaking back. And Dolly says, Miss B, Anthony wasn't thinking, he was showing them all. Well, he don't never think. He don't think past what it goes in his brain and that right back out. He does not think at all. That's why he's always sorry, because he doesn't think. Angela says, Dolly, you still listen to those crazy reviewers. They even say Lauren's realtor was Dave's ex. Yeah, some people because they jump the gun. It's like let a little bit of it unfold. Just let a little bit unfold. Don't just jump out there. Now, like I said, the T, it wouldn't be a big stretch for T to get wind up being in business with Wayne and Anthony as a realtor. She could probably do that because they're all in the same area. She could wind up getting hooked up to them, some it's not through Dave, but through some other way. And she can wind up working with them. And then you'd have what y'all trying to get. But not the lady way down in Florida. It was like, no, that's not their realtor. And Sunita said, Denisha find a fool, so she's going to use the fool to the end. So she's not going anywhere. She's not. I don't think she's going at all. And Diamond says, "Hey, how you doing, Diamond? Thanks for stopping in. Go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already." Yvette says Anthony might get robbed before he leaves Kentucky because the cousins own him. They let him out because of course, he's back in Atlanta now, so they let him out of Kentucky. Next time, he might not be so safe. Donna said Big Kai was clowning Shayla saying bye bye. I didn't see that. He's a kid and needs to stay in the kid's place, but Anthony and Denisha exposed him to all the foolishness. I know he said that daggone lady ever since he met Shayla, she causing trouble. And Yvette speaking to Diamond, Tina says he did it to a high side on his character. I did not see Magnolia. Okay, 27, 27. That's good. Okay, we at 31 right now. So 30, 31. Let's get some more likes in there. And Dolly said the whole storyline has no consideration for both sides. That is the truth, Collie. Nothing spoken more truly than they really need to get both of those kids out of there because they don't need to be exposed to that. Little Kai does not need to be exposed to any kind of arguing or anything. They need to put, he needs to go into another room. Y'all need to hire a nanny and have that nanny be in the other room so y'all can put him in the room when it's time to argue. And Keisha says Tamara was friends with Shayla first. That's probably why she's more loyal to her. It could be. Could be. And Dolly says 28 and 28. And Diamond says Shayla admitted Kai is not legitimized. No. And Denisha brought up the topic to Aunt. Let's hope Aunt involves the courts and legitimize him as a son. The court ordered paternity tests will be required. Yeah, but Anthony's sorry, so he's not going to do it. And like I said, he agreed to pay her pay her rent every month now. So she still don't have to work. I don't know if he's going to be paying her rent and giving her a stipend. I guess he might give her something until the podcast starts. But he gonna be paying her rent. It seemed like he had cut her off, and maybe she's getting the money back. She'll be getting her money back. Like somebody said earlier, the yes man might have went to work while they was in that house. Yvette says Shayla got nothing to do with him being married. It's not with her. She did it too and made a whole person. That's true. She don't have anything to do with him being married. So it doesn't her saying he married doesn't really matter. Don't hold no weight because he was married also when you got with him. And you still trying to get with him. Dolly said, poor little innocent little Kai has always got caught up in drama and toxicity. Yes, he did from being a baby. And Keisha said, I honestly don't think Anthony and Denisha were embarrassed enough. I wanted Shayla to show up with. Y'all just want to punish the people. Y'all just want to punish the people. They were embarrassed. Believe me, they were embarrassed. But that room full of people, those are not like your people who aren't used to something happening and somebody crashing out like that. That was a room full of people that are used to things like that happening. So it was like, yeah, it's embarrassing, but you know what? We've seen worse. Now, if it was a different class of people, they would be like, oh my God, what are they doing? They would have called the cops. But now that room full, they were okay. They were embarrassed, but it wasn't that bad. Bree says, oh my God, new skit. Tamara is apologizing to Denisha like Wayne. Come on now. Hey, she can apologize. I guess she's trying to keep her on as an employee. Sunita says, and it's the biggest dummy. And it's the biggest dummy in Skitland. Who's the biggest dummy? Sunita, I got to go back to see who you were talking about. Hey, Juanita, thanks for stopping by and happy Sunday to you also. Bree says, in the words of Nita Sherman's wife, I know you're lying. Yeah. Dolly speaking to Juanita. And Yvette says, on the west side, oh, the west side boys are coming to the podcast. Tamara could make a phone call. Oh God. The West Side Boys coming to the podcast. Why they want to be on the podcast? And criminals do not need to be on the podcast. Diamond says, I was surprised at how Shayla got away with talking to Aunt this morning. Like he better pay pay that rent. Wow, it doesn't seem like Aunt will do anything to stand up stronger against Shayla. He won't. He will not. And if Denisha wasn't in it for the money, that would tell her she needs to leave. But because she sees how he doesn't stand up to Shayla, I think she thinks that when she gets ready, she can run over him. But she better ask Amber because he doesn't take that from everybody. He only takes it from Shayla. He don't take it from Amber, and he probably wouldn't take it from Denisha unless she threatens him. And she will threaten him. Yvette says, Angelina and Denisha together, fireworks. Oh yeah. I think Denisha will bring a mother for Angelina. Angela says Diamond Shayla will be walking all over Anthony talking about she gonna see a different side of him. Yeah, what is the side? Asks Amber. All you doing is playing with her. Cause she got excuse me, Amber got his story too. She got him. Diamond says Shayla was right about Aunt should have told her bring her son to another state, but she also dead wrong about how she demands her rent to be paid by Aunt. And he's the dumb and gives in. Well, he got to pay that's where his son lives. That was his reasoning for paying while she was in the apartment. Because that's where his child lives. So he has to pay for his a house. I don't know why, but he got to pay the full price. So Dolly says Diamond Anthony's afraid of Shayla. Well, about right. And Juanita speaking to everybody, Cynthia says Anthony is happy with Denisha's family and he's in love and over the moon. So you not to let Amber go. It's crazy. Like, please let Amber go. And Angela says Anita because he don't want Amber to be happy. Well, Keisha and Magnolia are speaking, and Sunita is speaking, and oops, I moved too far. All right, here we go. Diamond says, Angela, true. We've seen Shayla physically kick him in the butt, and he's still so nice to her. It's mind boggling. Dolly says, Anthony didn't take into consideration that he needed to talk it over with Shayla about Kai in case of medical emergency could have taken place. And y'all know Anthony don't think. And Diamond says, Dolly, yeah, it really does seem like he's afraid of Shayla. It's sad that he doesn't learn how to stand up for anything. True. Zanita says, Angela, is the year going to finish and the divorce and no divorce? No, we're going to get this divorce. We're getting this divorce. Angela says, how Anthony and Denisha going to have their own storyline if Shayla going to be in it? Because they need somebody to keep up. They need Shayla in there in order to get views. So they're going to have their storyline. But you see, we had, everybody called it the AAS storyline, the Amber, Anthony, and Shayla storyline. So now it'll be Anthony Denisha storyline. ADS, AS, however you want to say it. It will be the three of them in that storyline. Tina says, I agree with you, Miss B. Even if Shayla told them Aunt was married, that family wouldn't have cared because of his financial status. Nah, they wouldn't care. Angela saying, Sanita, I hope not. Dolly said, sorry. Should have been Anthony's middle name. Yeah, it is his middle name now. Anthony, sorry, Dalton. And Sunita says, me to Angela, hope not. And she's saying yes to Dolly. And Diamond says, Dolly, yep, those are always Ant creates. Oh, those are ways Ant creates more drama for himself. His communication over time has shown to be lacking. Yeah, they have him acting like that. Hey, artist, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Angela says the writers build Dave and Amber together. Now they're trying to build Denisha and Anthony, but it's taking time. Yeah, it is because the chemistry is not the same, and they turn people off with those two real quick. It was one thing to see Anthony simping for Denisha right away. It was another thing when he moved her into the house. That was where the problem lied with those. When he was being a simp to her and trying to give her stuff, everybody was fine because they wanted her to take his money. Everybody wanted Denisha to take his money, so people didn't really mind. When he moved into that house and he hasn't gotten that divorce and get out the house. Dolly says Anthony now has two opportunities in his life. Denisha, oh, opportunist. Denisha and Shayla. Yeah. Shayla's gonna be there forever, whether Denisha stays or not. Artists are speaking. Magnolia said, Miss D, they remind us of Amber and Wayne daily, even though Amber isn't in the skit. You'll never get rid of Amber and Wayne. It will always be when Amber's name comes up, it will be Amber. So Amber slept with Wayne. I don't care what's doing. If Dave buys Amber a house, so Amber slept with Wayne. It will always be that, no matter what. So whatever you do, just get used to it. That is the line that people will use forever. It's like it'd be 50 years later. So Amber slept with Wayne. Not Wayne slept with Amber. It was Amber doing it by herself, I guess. Because Wayne was just as encouraging as she was. But Wayne wasn't engaged. She was. And during that podcast, that's all they're going to do is so Amber slept with Wayne. And Sunita says, I think Anthony is scared. Is scared of the lawyer? Wow. I don't know. I feel like he has something around that he don't want to get too deep to go in the court or something. Our artist says Anthony doesn't know how to do things the right way. He's dysfunctional. Yeah, he is. And Keisha says Anthony doesn't want to follow the rules. Well, we know that. Angela says Anthony keeps saying he's a businessman, but we don't see him put businessman hat on. And Anthony don't even know what legitimizing Kai means. Denisha had to explain it to him. Yeah. That was like Did you get an attorney to file those papers for you when you changed the baby name? Because if you didn't, your attorney could have told you what you needed to do. Because everybody, they had all of us thinking, oh, he got a new, um, I guess they did it based on that second DNA test that they did. Then they're going to have another one because somebody else, the baby daddy. And Sunita says, yes, Magic, I would. Amber and Dave means wake up always. Oh, their names always come up. Oh, yeah. Dolly says, Magnolia, they play the Amber and Wayne line like a broken record. Hey, you got to say what Amber did. You have to say what she did. The artist says, Angela, right, Anthony has no business sense at all. Seems like he doesn't have any at all. I'm a businessman. You got to say you a businessman, you ain't a businessman. Carla says, it might come up that Anthony is a scammer. I don't know. Because nobody else goes around saying that I'm a businessman, do they? I'm trying to think. I don't think anybody else goes around saying that but Anthony, because he doesn't seem like he's a businessman. Angela, she says, artist, every time I hear him say I'm a businessman, I had to laugh. Me too. 'Cause I'm like, I'm a businessman. Magnolia says, it's all they have, ma'am, mom. The Wayne Amber line. And Diamond says, Shayla's plan of bringing Tamara to Louisville was to show domination over Denisha, to show that Tamara is Shayla's friend over Denisha. Sadly, Tamara doesn't see that she was being manipulated by Shayla. Oh, she definitely manipulated without a doubt. But they don't see Shayla's manipulation anywhere, though. She's always doing that. I forget what I was calling Shayla because she kind of leads a group, but she doesn't really lead the group. It's almost like because she has this like control over them to get them to do things, but she's not the smartest one in the group at all. But she kind of has control over them, especially Tamara and Tamara and what's the little child named Piari. Now with Delicia, she kind of was manipulating Delicia, but Delicia kind of got out of it, and Lauren never fell for it. And Amber, up to a certain point, is like on the borderline almost with Shayla. And Keisha says, I'm wondering if someone of Anthony's business deals were not completely legal. This man doesn't have any respect for rules, boundaries, and the law. Shaking my head. That's what I was thinking, Keisha, when I brought up before why he doesn't want to go to court and do the actual legitimation process and do all that, get Shayla on, get visitation rights and all that spelled out because she'll keep doing this and he needs to have the boundaries, but he doesn't want to have those boundaries because it seems like he doesn't want to go to court. I'm like, what is he hiding in the background someplace that he's not going to court? He probably doesn't want to go to court for the divorce either, because he's probably just trying to do the negotiation, and then they don't really have to be in front of a judge to sort out everything. But I don't know, because It's just strange that he acts that way. Magnolia saying yes, and Dolly says another one of Anthony's favorite line is "I'm a businessman," and if you put them together, you get "I'm sorry, businessman." That's what he said. It's "I'm a sorry businessman." Okay, so we know that already, Anthony. What's new? It said Pepper Ann is funny. Yeah, Pepper Ann. She called that girl Pepper Ann. Um, Magnolia, she said no. The fans are saying that's what's in the letter. Yeah, Diamond says Dave and Shayla would be the perfect match. That would be too wild. I couldn't take it. I really couldn't take it. And Magnolia says, I don't believe Melissa is pregnant. She used it as leverage to get back in Dave's life. She'd use it as leverage to get back in his life. I don't know. I think Melissa just going to do, hopefully, she's just going to do her thing. But see, what I don't understand about that whole thing, and I guess it's going to come out because it seems as though, of course, Dave said himself he was with several women. It seems like all of those relationships were the type that didn't really have an end, if I could say. It's like, he's messing with this one, then he might be messing with this one, then it might be messing with this one. And it was like a lot of overlap, and it just wasn't the closure because who is it? The realtor, she's like, we have all this history. So she seems as though they have been messing around for a while, but he was also in the meantime messing with Melissa, and Melissa was saying that there were other women that he was messing with as well. So it's like there was no closure in Dave's things of what he was doing. He was just, out there. And maybe that's something that Melissa has in this letter. And that's why she's so sprung, because he treated her the way he treated the rest of them. It was an open-ended deal. And everybody probably thought that they were the one because he's nice and he treats everybody nice. But when Amber, who he says is the one, came along, he dropped them all. And it's like, no more. That's my theory. So, but because the way they're all acting, it's like, I thought it was me. It's like, well, if y'all had broke up, you couldn't have thought it was you. But I think he had open ended stuff to where if he called them, they were they were ready. So, and Melissa was the same way since she was there with him all along. She thought maybe she was going to be the one, but she had also seen a parade of women there in his life, which you should have known you weren't going to be the one because there were too many others. Sunita says, yes, Keisha, aunt, no businessman from Road left. So you don't see Anthony doing any business. Tell me he on the phone doing the deal. Right, on the phone. You're not talking, you're texting. Please, Anthony. Juanita says, and Anthony thought Amber was going to be the problem. Yeah, he did. He did. His baby mama stepped up. And Dolly says, if you go back and look at the skits of Baby David, you can tell they're making the stuff up. That's so far-fetched. I never would have come up with that. Not no Not no baby David having biracial parents. Magnolia said, I called it T, the realtor will be Wayne's next conquest. If they get her in there, she will be. He'll be dropping he'll be dropping Lauren in a month and going with the next person. They'll figure out a way to get T into these skits. They might get away to, and then she's Dave's ex too. So, Wayne has a funny way he has to have somebody to compete with. Artist says, I think Wayne will go after Denisha after she leaves Anthony. Anthony hasn't learned anything yet regarding Wayne and women. Well, I don't know if he's gonna go after Denisha. He might. He has to have somebody on deck, and we will meet that person who Wayne will put on deck real soon. Whoever it is, somebody's going to be looking for a house. Tina says, with him hiding money, doesn't that have a penalty of jail time? If so, it's probably why he strays away from court. I don't know if it's jail time. I mean, it's his money. So I don't think it's criminal. It's just during the divorce, it can mess him up because he's actually, that would be fraud, kind of, but I don't know if they pursue it the same way. And Sanita says all Anthony do is to stay home, sleep. You don't see him on the phone doing nothing. Nah, let me put that picture back up because I'm tired of them looking like that. Them two right there, Shayla with that big on. Shayla with that zebra suit. She was in that airport. Like Shayla. And Keisha says, Sunitha, right. He hasn't been doing any business since roll up. That's what Wayne told him. It's like, you ain't getting no business. Where our house is at? The housing market is still pretty good. And Hope says, the part that gets me is how Anthony told Denise's family that he's a God fearing man, and he left out the part where he says, "But I'm a married man." People don't equate being God fearing and married and doing the right thing together. That's not in people's minds or in their thought process. It's like, I'm a good man, I'm a God fearing man, but I do a whole lot of wrong. Hey Denise, thanks for stopping by. Remember, hit that like button. And Denise is saying hey to the chat family. And Dolly says, Dan, Dom, Genesis. You shouldn't have put all those names, those D's together. Libby and Shayla are all cartoon characters. You think they're cartoon characters? The one thing about it, they can all crash out. Those are all your crash dummies right there. And you need them in these skits. Because when you need some real drama, that's who you go to. And Angela said she's speaking because I didn't know that Genesis girl, she done burnt Terry's house down. That was crazy. Hey Abby, how are you? Glad you could stop by. Abby said, "Hey Miss B, came to like and show love. You know I ain't watching this mess. I didn't watch anything all weekend. I hope to get a dose of Dave during the week. Not even trying to see Amber and do say silly things. Come, I know you didn't watch it, but we've been talking about it, so you don't have to watch it. We're not going line for line. We're just talking about how Shayla crashed out, basically the crash out. Sunita says, yes, Keisha. So what type of businessman is he? he don't know how to deal with Shayla, and he don't even see what Denisha is up to. Well, no, because he's blind. He think he got him a woman that appreciates him. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. Denise is saying happy Sunday. Diamond says, Lioness, Shayla, and Genesis are both dressed in zebra patterns yesterday. Okay, that might have been done on purpose because Genesis burnt down a house literally, and Shayla burnt down a house figuratively yesterday. So they both were burning down houses. Nancy said Al is a creep and he needs a birthday. Erica, get rid of him. Al, he's go. Al, I'm just waiting. I'm hoping. I thought she was gonna get rid of him today, but she didn't. So they figured it out real quick. I was like, okay, it's time. The door opened, go. But she didn't let him go. She says Anthony is a sucker. Dolly said, "There's no bro and girl code in these skits." No, what code? Is you have a limited number of people that you have to choose from. You don't have all of Atlanta. You have only a limited number of people in Atlanta. So either they're introducing a new one, or you have to get from um, existing the existing cast. So you just pass around. Everybody becomes a pass around. Sunita saying, yes, Dolly. Nancy says, Anthony's karma is going to be he's not the baby father. I mean, it almost seems like they're opening up the door for that now. And I thought that door was completely closed. But the people who said Anthony's not the father, I think they might start feeling vindicated now. But she's like, Anthony's a clown. Shayla is jealous of Denisha, of course. And Sunita said she's speaking to Nancy. Y'all speaking to each other. Nancy says Anthony is weak and a whiny wimp. Well, that's been established for a long time now. And Dolly says Nancy, Anthony's a clown. He's running his own circus. Oh, y'all need to stop. Hope says Denisha family is all about hopping on the gravy train. Well, Diamond says Shayla brings Tamara to Louisville to act of demonstrating power over Denisha, and Tamara got manipulated so easily. Yeah. Okay, we got 34 likes and 29 watchers. That looks like now, according to my thing, we got 37 watching. So let's get those likes up. There's some of you that haven't hit that like button. If you're just coming in, hit that like for me. Nancy says, Denisha said, you're sorry don't mean nothing. We just named Anthony I'm a sorry businessman. That's his thing. I'm sorry, and I'm a businessman, so I'm a sorry businessman. Angela says if he won't go legitimize Kai, then he's not his dad. True that. Nancy says she learned Anthony is weak in less than 2 months. Yeah, she does. That's what we were saying. Basically, she's gonna hang around because she sees how weak he is, so she knows she can get what she wants from him. Like, because we all remember her, she was Momo's tutor on how to get the money from Ralphie. And I bet she ain't giving it up to Anthony often either. She probably, every time he do something stupid, she'd be like, no, not tonight. No, not tonight. And she just could keep saying that because he'd be doing something stupid every day. So I believe she don't either. I think he maybe she keeps him on that little string. He'll learn one day. Sunitha says Anthony said he's a businessman and he don't know what the word means. Nah. Juanita, she's speaking to Hope and Abby, and Dolly saying Angelina always saying Kai's Anthony legacy. Well, he can't be the legacy if Anthony doesn't make it legal. That's gonna be the problem. And lo and behold, Anthony has another baby by somebody else. Kai gets pushed out, and it's because his mama was too busy acting a fool. Keisha says, I don't think baby Kai not being Anthony's son will hit him as hard as Big Kai is in the picture. As I think it would still, because he has grown to love baby Kai. It's like you have a child for 2 years that you think is yours, that you truly, truly think is yours. He would, we might see the other side of Anthony if that happens. Hey, Antoinette. And Antoinette said there's a new skit where Tamara's apologizing to Denisha, and Tamara, to me, is starting to be two-faced like the rest of them. Yeah, she is. Oh, I think they said that there was one. But she's trying to balance two relationships that she shouldn't be really trying to balance. Because she knew she would be in the middle of this mess once Denisha starts seeing Anthony, because Denisha works for her and she's Shayla's friend, and that's Shayla's baby daddy. With normal people, you might have been able to do something with it, but with Shayla, no, you really can't. It's a business, a clown. Uh, Sunita said Denisha have to explain to Mr. Businessman what legitimizing means. Yes, she did. Angela said Tamara is as weak as Anthony. Wow. And Sunita says, that's what I'm saying. Angela and Anthony don't know nothing about how is he a businessman. Who knows? He just don't really know a lot. Abby says, hey, Dolly and Juanita, hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. And Sunita is saying, yes, Angela, Tamara is. Somebody speaking to Nancy. Angela says, Denisha's neither love or in love with Buddy. I don't even think she likes him. She like him. Her face is looks so disgusted when he touches her. Well, she in it for the money. And Angela said, true, Sunita. Keisha saying, I think Tamara really values her friendship with Denisha and Shayla more than they do. They just use it as a way to manipulate her to stay on their side. That's probably true. I'm not going to say Denisha uses it as a way to manipulate, but Shayla definitely does. Shayla uses it as a way to manipulate because she never liked Denisha to begin with. And then when Denisha started messing with Anthony, she really hates her. And I think she does use it to manipulate Tamara to be on her side against Denisha. Nancy said Anthony is a punk. And Sunita said Denisha don't Don't even giving Anthony no poom poom. And her face is always sorry around Anthony. I believe it. I believe she ain't giving out no poom poom, not often anyway. Juanita says they're not expecting Shayla to show up. No, they were not at all. That was the last thing on their bingo card. And she said, Bingo, I'm here. And Dolly says, Did Melissa write Dave a 4-page letter? Like they'll leave some. Man, Melissa wrote him a book. She wrote him a book. I was like, dang, that's thick. Did you give him some bank statements or something? What did you do? Angela said, Keisha, you can't be friends with two other people who's each other enemy. She needs to take herself out of the equation. That's what I say. I don't think she thought that that would be that bad, but yeah, she has to take herself out. And Keisha said, and she sealed it with the kiss, Dolly. Diamond said, Keisha, true. It's because Shayla and Denisha are users at their core. Tamara is kind, but she's naive and slowly getting corrupted and bad in the bad company she's keeping. Yeah, she getting out there. But yeah, she got to make a decision of whose friend she's going to be. Because she can't be both. Angela says, I don't like Shayla, but as a mom, I understand what she did. I would, I would go to get my child too. They weren't doing anything to that baby at all. The baby, he was gonna be fine. Kai was fine. He was going to be fine. Shayla did that as a way. That was a power move for Shayla. That was that was the power move for Shayla. That was her showing her dominance over to Denisha over Anthony. Now that was the move. As like she did it to Mara, but that was also her power move for Anthony. Because that right there, and she got him because everybody was like, "Oh, don't pay her rent, don't pay her rent." She getting her rent paid. She's getting her rent paid. She gonna get whatever she needs from Anthony. That was the power move. Diamond said, Angela, I agree. Aunt should have told her. And then Dolly says, Angela, I see Shayla's point as a mother. I think most mothers see it. But yeah, she didn't have to go way over there to go get Kai. He was gonna be fine. But again, it was just the power. It was Shayla exercising her power, showing I run this. You showing Denisha I run this. And she showed Denisha's whole family. She runs it. And Denisha's not running it at all. Not at that particular point. Now if they get Shayla on up out the way. Sunita says Honey Pot needs to be friends with Shayla alone or Denisha alone or stay away from both of them. True, only true. Angela says Diamond. Tamara needed to leave both friendships because she can't be loyal to either one, Denisha or Shayla is an enemy and can't be loyal. So she's caught in the middle. Yeah. She's caught in the middle, but she can't choose whose friendship that she wants to keep. And she has to give the other one a she has to give the other one back. Sunita says, I don't like Shayla, but as a mother, I don't play about my kids. I don't care what. And Angela says, Diamond, as a mother, I would go get my child too. Yvette, now don't you start telling me something's up with Dave. Don't you get into Facebook. Don't get into that Facebook thing. Angela's talking about Sunita, exactly. Like, don't be getting into that Facebook thing to me something wrong with Dave. Because Magnolia gonna get on your head. Dolly says, Angelina, it makes no sense how they come up with this stuff. Diamond says, Angela, true. Sadly, Tamara is like blowing in the wind every direction. Shayla and Denisha take her. Yeah. Angela said, Diamond, exactly. Angela said, Diamond, true. Dolly said, Denisha's family was waving bye to Shayla. Yeah, they were. Dolly says, and Denisha approached Tamara for a job. Tamara didn't approach Denisha. It's true, but I think they became friendly or, acquaintances better after she started working and everything. But it's to me, I think Tamara of her and Shayla have been friends longer, and it was developed differently as a friendship. But her and Denisha were a working relationship, so it's a little different. And Sunita says Anthony is going to do nothing because it looks like he is running from the law. I don't know what Anthony doing, but he better get to somebody courthouse. Okay, we had at one point 34 likes and 32 watching. That was good, guys. We're down now, but if you're still out there and you haven't hit that like button, come on, hit that like button. Angela says, Dolly, did you hear one of the family members say when she sees Shayla in Atlanta, she's gonna whoop her? How you gonna whoop her when you don't know the whole situation? Somebody just had to have a line. So they gave that lady a line. Like, how you gonna whoop her? And you don't even know where she is in Atlanta. Atlanta is small, but it's big at the same time. Angela says little Kai was looking buddy looking buddy like, Daddy, did you really kidnap me? He ain't kidnapped that baby. Dolly says, Angela, they were carrying on so much I didn't hear it. They were crazy. Sunita's like, yes, I heard it too. One in the little, oh, okay, one in the yellow engine. Let's see what happens when she sees Shayla. Yeah, she was standing toward the back and she she stood up to me when I see her. That was after Anthony's little speech. Anthony is the biggest dummy in Skitland. Dolly says Denisha was embarrassed and her family acted like they're used to drama. I said that earlier, Dolly. They are used to drama. Like that was not a group of people who are not used to drama. That's a group of people who are um, in the hood. You know, they either hood or hood adjacent, one of the two, and they are used to drama. They're black people. They came up in drama. Somebody did. They're not rich. That's why that girl went to go give her mother and all that party. That's why Anthony trying to get her to move out of Louisville. Yeah, it's they used to it, and that's why the baby daddy over there at the gambling house playing cards. That's just like Hollywood and them down the street gambling. Same thing, hood adjacent. Hey Lioness, how you doing? She's speaking to everybody. Betty says, I believe Anthony knows that Kai isn't his child. He changed the DNA results to keep from being embarrassed. You think he changed the DNA results? I don't know how he did that. Well, he did the second one. He would have only been, I don't know. But anyway, we'll find out one day. How Yvette says, I'm glad my children's fathers were good men. I had no worries if he was with his father. I know. Yvette says, never heard of that in Maryland. What you're saying, you never heard of legitimation in Maryland? I don't know. Because I know in Georgia and South Carolina it's prominent. I don't know. I had never heard of it until I came here in Georgia. Diamond says, Betty, I thought so too. And it's sad that Aunt could have been more angry and embarrassed. He should have been more angry and embarrassed. Sunita says that Anthony is not going to do nothing, only to Amber he can talk and call her names. Yeah, he don't do nothing to Shayla. He just saves it for Amber. Dolly says, Yvette, I had a good grandmother on both sides. For my only child. Betty Bush saying hello, and Angela saying Anthony tried to explain to the fake family that he was not what Shayla say he is. He's a God fearing. Shayla said he was a dog, and I guess you are a dog. Just because you say so don't mean nothing. You're not gonna admit it. Sunita said Shaylee has Anthony, a lot on Anthony, so that's why he's scared of her. That is true. She does have a lot of information that she holds the cards for Amber, so he has to play along with the game. But if he wants to keep Denisha, then he needs to tell Denisha what Shayla has on him, because that would to help his divorce case. Because other than that, she just gonna continue. Well, he is a wimp also. So Alina said Denisha will also be Anthony's karma. Anthony let Amber go. Wait, tell Anthony and Wayne to see Amber's house. Yeah, Amber, don't bring them to the podcast, girls, to your house. Yeah, child, we don't want them. I wonder if we're gonna see the full podcast room Monday. I wonder if they're taping it. Okay, Yvette says that don't think about it. Dave had a relationship with every woman he dealt with. Well, true. I said it too. It's not a popular opinion, but it seems like he had the relationship with. He said himself he had relationships with several different women. He even told the realtor, he was like there was a lot of traffic through that. He's like he wanted to start over because there was a lot of bodies through that house. So he admits it himself. So ain't nobody got to say it for him because he already admits, like, yeah, there was a lot going on. Sunita says, Angela, when Anthony is going to know God is when Denisha and her family finish with him and he's on the street. Think they're going to put him out of his house? And Dolly said, please dissolve the AAS storyline and split them up. Well, they're only going to split up. They're going to take an A out of there and add the D in there. It's going to be ADS because Shayla's going to stay around. Yvette says, Dolly's family is cared about the child. Okay, we were up to 37 likes and 38 people. Sunita said, "Yes, Angela, that's when he's going to know God. God. Yeah, when David done took him for everything he's worth." Angela said, "Does Anthony have chemistry with anyone?" I don't know. Linus says, "Wait till Angelina come back. Watch out, Anthony and Denisha. Angelina's coming." I don't know. They have taken Angelina's role down so far now because we don't even see the Brody skits anymore. So I don't know. It's just was one of those things where we were going on a certain line with Brody, and then they dropped us off. And Yvette says, "Seeing Big Kai's father, I see why Denisha is the way she is." Sunita says, "Sometimes I wonder how Anthony bring him work the last time Amber did tell him to go and get checked." Mm. Oh, his brain worked last time Amber told him to go get checked. Well, he's not. Angela says, "I don't give Angelina no credit because there's nothing she did ever comes to pass." That's true. None of her plans ever actually worked. Well, she never implements them. She's another Shayla. She talks a lot of junk, but she don't give out any results. Like Shayla always dragging somebody, but nobody gets dragged. Yvette says, "No, Angela, he don't." And Angela says, Big Kai's father say hide your bank account, and Big Kai's dad say, you don't know what you got out there. Nah, he don't know, and he'll find out sooner or later. Hey, Nanya, how you doing? Nanya saying hello and say hello to the chat. Sunita's like, yep. And Yvette says, "You're right again, Angela." People are saying hi to Nanya. And Keisha saying, Shayla handled the paperwork for the name change. Anthony just showed up to the courthouse. Well, again, I'm a sorry businessman. That's what the line is. I'm a sorry businessman. Because if he let her handle the paperwork for the name change and he didn't do the other part, he's a sorry businessman. Again. Angela said, "Yvette, do you remember when Denisha said go into Ralphie's store and his money?" Yeah. Dolly says they leave out the part about Wayne pursuing Amber and only remember that Amber was engaged. Y'all on them daggone Facebook people again. We don't want the Facebook people. Like, yeah, they leave out. It's Amber slut with Wayne. Nonya says only got Arby's okay to sign the birth certificate. Remember, he only need the documentation for the technician to show R RB giving him permission to change the birth certificate. Yeah, but he didn't do the second part, so that was on him. Linus is speaking to Nanya. Dolly speaking to Nanya. Yvette said they left him out, but with no money in his wallet. Oh Lord. Sunita said Anthony don't know nothing about business to make him now roll is not there and he's not doing anything. He's not. Nanya speaking. Artist is speaking to Nanya Linus. Yvette said, "Yes, Angela, I remember." Nanya is speaking. And Yvette said Denisha as a silent scammer. Oh, she's gonna let it know. She gonna pop out. She will pop out. Right now, she's taking notes. She's taking notes and devising her plan as she goes. But Anthony getting ready to give her a whole lot. Danita said Shayla is a lot on Anthony, so that he don't want to do nothing to her. Yeah, I don't know. She's alive. Deborah says Anthony need a T-shirt that says "Sorry, businessman." Yep, that's what he needs. And I'd put the words "I'm a sorry businessman" since he always talking about I'm sorry and I'm a businessman. I'm a sorry businessman. That's what you put on his T-shirt. Because he just don't have no kind of sense. And Angela said Tamara is like Shayla's little puppet. Oh yeah, she is. Yvette says, "Girl, you on point." What time is it? Okay, I got a few more minutes. Sunita says, Denisha, you know what to do to get Anthony money without asking for it. Yeah, she does know. Denisha know how to get the money without even asking for it. She ain't crazy. I tell you, she's taking notes. She she taking her notes. She's devising a plan. She gonna hit him. And her baby daddy said, hide your bank account. She gonna need that bank account. Then she can once she get Shayla under control, then she can get Amber out the picture. Sunita said, it's Anthony Sorry Dalton. Not Sorry Dalton now. Yes, Sorry is his middle name also. Nanya speaking to Keisha. And Dolly said, Denisha told Momo how to get Ralphie's money, and Denisha faked and had Ralphie buying for her, which was conveniently forgotten. Yeah, I know. It's like, yeah. So we know she know how to get the money. She know how to get to the money. It's this what they call it? What the scammers call it? This mark takes a little bit longer. See, she going for a larger bank. They were going for change, really. $100 here, $300 there, 400. That's what they were getting Ralphie for. She getting ready to hit. Anthony giving out $10,000. Do you know this girl getting ready to get more than $10,000 from Anthony? Way more. So that's why she got to take it slow because the mark it requires a little bit more studying. And I believe her cousin seemed like she's gonna be up in Atlanta soon because her cousin seemed like she that type too that she scams. She a scammer. I think so too. Because I think her cousin was messing with the baby mama, but the cousin is street smart, so I think she'll be up there to help Denisha take Anthony. This is sad. We're doing exactly what we said other people do. But it's more to me, it's realistic. The cousin comes to Atlanta and she helps Denisha take Anthony. Dolly said, Miss B, that's funny. I'm sorry. I'm a sorry businessman. That's what he is. Miss Anita said, Melissa just wanted to be seeing saying that she still loves Dave. Everybody still loves Dave. Say everybody loves Dave. Dave, we're gonna give you a name soon. We like you and all, but it's like everybody loves Dave. Dave got a hold on these women. Hey Ann, how are you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Like, I believe that issues may come up about Dave, but it won't be a deal breaker because he has boundaries now. Um, Al, I don't think he is exclusive. He was exclusive to anyone before. Now he's making the rounds and telling them, yeah, that's what I said too. Basically, all of those relationships were like open ended. And I think they all thought that they may be the one or they had a chance to be the one. And he's shutting them all down. And they don't know how to take it because that wasn't their previous relationship. That's what T basically told us. It was like, we got this long history, and then all of a sudden you change. And then for Melissa, it was, we have this long history, and then all of a sudden you change. It's like, yeah, he got some more all of a suddens out there. I guess we'll see them all. And Sedina said Melissa did want to marry Dave. I'm sure they all did. The realtor wanted to marry him also because she upset that he's doing what he's doing for Amber. And Dolly says Melissa was probably available between the other relationships. She was. She was that, go to when the other people weren't there. So Dave, now we done got on you. That's not good. But we have to talk about it. We can't just say that Anthony ain't no good and not talk about what we know about Dave. And Angela says Dave was never serious about none of his exes. He sees them as his girlfriends. Amber he sees as his wife, and he will be go beyond for Amber. That's true though. That's what I said. They were just open in relationships. Sunita said Amber don't care for Anthony or want to see Anthony or hear nothing about Anthony unless it's about signing the papers. I'm sure she don't care about Anthony in that way. Angela says, notice all Dave's ex, they all ask him one question: what is so special about Amber? And Dave said, Amber is my wife, my future, and none of Dave exes was called his wife. That's true. That's what they do ask her. What is so special about that one? And that's the hardest thing to get over because they can't understand. I thought I was special, but I wasn't. What's so special about her? You should be happy for him. Dolly says Shayla's Anthony's problem to the max, and Amber's going on about her business. That is true. Shayla's his. Phew, Shayla is his karma. Nanya's still speaking out there. Sanaya said, yes, Angela. And Artist says, Anthony may be trying to avoid tax evasion charges. He trying to do something. Like, I don't know what Anthony avoiding, but I do know one thing because you know something you do have to if you hide the money, you have to still report the income. So and his attorney may not have even I don't know what none of them, but Anthony's doing something as to why he won't take this girl to court, why he won't go to court with her, because it's just, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. If you're so scared to give out your money, you're crazy. But it makes no sense. Shayla's only entitled to um, child support and to pay Kai's schooling or whatever. She's not entitled to a monthly maintenance and you paying her rent and she don't get no alimony. She don't get none of that. So I don't understand why you won't just go he won't go to court and deal with the girl. Yvette says Anthony let Shayla and Angelina punk him, but also if had done anything, they would have arrested him. Yeah, Nanya said, I agree, possible tax fraud. Now, y'all gonna have Anthony on tax fraud charges. You know, somebody gonna get wind of that. All right, you too, Nanya. Have a blessed day. Enjoy your day. And Tyrone, hey, Tyrone, I'm gonna get y'all names right. She's speaking to everyone. Tamara, Tadala said Tamara was dressed in all black, like the men in black, and Shayla was dressed in zebra stripes. Yep, they were a duo. And Sunita says Shayla kid don't care, she crazy. She is. She is crazy. Dolly said Miss B there. Cartoon characters good for a laugh. Yeah, they are. They're definitely good for a laugh. Well, you need a laugh and you need the excitement of Shayla, her crazy, to give us a so we're not so serious. Angela says, oh, she's saying you too to Nanya. She's saying to Nanya, bye to Nanya. Oh, today the skits are Slim Pickens. Well, they slowed us down today. It's a good thing. Maybe I'll get something else done later on. Yeah, that way, because you know they're going to. We probably tomorrow we're going to see the podcast room. So I don't know if we're going to see the podcast room with just Wayne or with the girls. But anyway, what y'all think about this this Chase and Liz thing? Because Chase was over there like goggling Liz, like he kind of want the old thing back. Now, so are they gonna finally have Chase trying to cheat on Candace? But Liz is married also, and she doesn't seem like the type that'll cheat, but I don't know. What y'all think about that one? I want to introduce not too much more because I got to get off of here. What could I got? Yeah, I only got a few more minutes to get through some of this. Uh, it's like I don't believe Kai is his baby, and that's why he doesn't want to go to court. I don't know. Did Anthony as his next side, or do you think he has a next side? I don't know. Another side. I don't know what the other side is. Tyrone says, so Anthony drove home this morning and went straight to Shayla's. I can't believe he agreed to pay her rent after all this. Shayla got so much on Anthony. Dolly says Tamara is in the middle of Denisha and Shayla, like Delicia in the middle of Lauren and Tamara. True that. That is the same kind of middle. Diamond says, Tyrone, exactly. It's one thing for him to provide for baby Kai, but taking over Shayla's rent is crazy. Yeah, Anthony knows that Shock Kai is not his. I don't know. We don't know, but I think we'll be finding out. So Denisha is faking it to make it with Anthony. Yeah, she is. I wholly believe that one. And Sunita said Anthony needs to be a father so bad. Yeah, he keeps getting tricked. Dylan says Ant could have been a father to baby David and Amber's baby that he caused to miscarry, but he didn't seem to care about either one of them. Hey, Stacy. We getting ready to get out of here. Thanks for stopping by because I've been talking for 2.5 hours now. My voice is gone. Sadita says Diamond Anthony wants to be a father to people's kids, not his kids, because this is the second child that got him. Yeah. Second one that he wound up not being the father to. But we don't know yet. We got to find out. Once again, I don't want to go down that DNA path once again. And Keisha said Anthony took the baby to a trap house trying to cater for Denisha and her son. Anything could have happened. Was the baby at the trap house with them? Lord. I didn't realize that little car was at the trap house. But that wasn't a trap. That was the card house. Well, I guess you call them a trap house because they looked like they was mainly playing cards. I don't know if they were selling under out of there, but they looked like they were just playing. They were gambling. Sunita said, and that's wild that Aunt prefers to have a child that are not really his and not care at all about the two children he could have had with his wife. Is it's a wonder why he's like that because he didn't like his wife. That was just that simple. That's what I'm saying, Diamond. Anthony like, and he could be happy with his wife and kid and take care of Amber the right way. He ain't wanna. And Terry told Natasha Libby did it. He's looking at Genesis with the gas cans. Yeah, he did. It's like Terry. He didn't want because Natasha would have Genesis arrested. And Terry don't know if that's his baby or not. Selena said Anthony is way over his head. He wants to move Denisha's mother into his house too, and he's still married to Amber. I don't know about people. Thank you, Juanita, for the 200 jewels. Thank you. So Shayla went to the party like a hurricane, just saying it all. Shayla was up in there like Tornado Shayla has arrived. Yvette says we call a lot of characters crazy, but Genesis is dangerous crazy. She's off her meds because she's pregnant, and the doctors need up something. Yeah, they do. So now they said when Anthony knows about the house that Amber's getting, he's going to get Denisha a house too because he don't want Amber to do better or be happy. That's true. He will. I'm sure he'll get a house, but I think the reason why he's really getting a house, same reason why Dave and they're getting a house. Well, Amber's, this is going to be her house. But I think Anthony, the contract is up on that house that he's using as well. Sanita says, Anthony, this is found an angel, but he's going to be sorry. He thinks he's found an angel, but he's going to be sorry. That's what he keeps saying. Anthony, sorry, Dalton. Good afternoon, Del Marie. Thank you for stopping by. We are almost out of here. Lioness says, so we got a community man, Wayne, and a sorry businessman, Anthony. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. That's who they are, both of them. Community man and sorry businessman. And they actually do business together, which what makes it really bad. And Del Marie says, I strongly believe Anthony is spending his money so Amber gets a little to nothing. That's why he told Shayla Amber will not get 50%. No, he trying to flex on Shayla. Amber, he ain't spending all his money. He ain't that stupid or that smart. Angela says he got how she got gonna get Amber out the picture. Amber bound to Amber by to Anthony by law. She gonna get her out because she's going to get him to go ahead on and get that divorce and offer enough that Amber will take it. Because that little penance that he offered her, Denisha wouldn't take that to leave him alone. Shayla wouldn't take that to leave him alone. So why would Amber take it? And she got an actual marriage license and rings and everything. Man, please. Hey, Michelle. Del Marie said he might think he's smart. I think so. Keisha says one of the other reviewers said Sorry is Anthony's theme song. Yeah, we just named him I'm a sorry businessman. Tanita said Angela is not even if Denisha tell Anthony to sign the papers, he's not going to do it. So she can't go and get Amber out. She's gonna get Amber out. She will get him out because she will threat if he doesn't sign those papers to divorce Amber, she will threaten to leave. And she might just leave. So yeah, she will get him out. She'll get Amber away. Because she has to, in order for her to get the money that she's going to try and get, she has to be legally tied to him some kind of way, or else she won't be able to get the money. If she's trying to go for millions, and I don't blame her because he's stupid, so she'll get it. Okay. The whole family is scammers. Hey, Yolanda, thanks for stopping by. Y'all, we're going to get up out of here. I be trying to stay. Y'all just keep putting these chats in. I'm trying to get through them all. If Anthony thought Amber would not get 50%, he would have signed those papers. Yeah, he would have been signing those papers. Yvette says just because you're around people and you get along, don't make them your friends or acquaintances. I tell co-workers that all the time. Yeah, because that's what Denisha and Tamara are, just acquaintances. They're co-workers, really. Actually, it's a boss-employee relationship. Sunita says same as Angela, so he want to keep Amber with him. Wayne, we tired of that, Yolanda. It will be the scammers versus the bottom feeders, which is all a bottom feeder show. Angela said Dave saw something in Amber and he doesn't see in any of his other exes. They should be able to accept that. Dave didn't have the conversation with any of his exes. He just cut them off cold turkey when Amber came into the picture. And he's like, yes. Sunita said Dave was just tasting all the fruit before he met his queen. I guess so. He was tasting the fruit. Now I can't say that because I don't know how many women were out there, but it seemed the few that we know, he broke their hearts. So he is a heartbreaker. But y'all got tied into something where just like Wayne is telling Lauren that we're in a situationship, we're not in a relationship, and he keeps stressing that. I'm sure that's what Dave was doing also, telling people, this is not a relationship, but they weren't listening because they was falling in love. And that's what happened. Angela says we can't blame Dave for having exes, but until we see him do something, we can't blame him for having exes. Women, we have not seen him disrespect Amber not once. No, I don't blame him for having exes at all. I mean, he was a single man. That's what he did. I mean, he's still single, but yeah, he's a single man. So he was going to have some exes. I don't blame him at all. I'm just saying that those women probably fell for him and they were thinking it was more to those relationships than it really was, which is usually what happened with women. The men are like, we're on this train, and the women be like, no, I need to get off that train. I need to get over here. But the man isn't over there. So Keisha says true. That's Keisha. Angela said true. Keisha, that's why they say today never treat them like he's treating Amber. He got the house and T was supposed to. Now she wasn't supposed to get the house. She thought she might be in the running for the house. That's the difference. Like, now he didn't treat them the same because you weren't his wife. He was like, I wasn't trying to play with you like that. Because she was getting, because they were probably getting serious and he wasn't. That's why he said, I wasn't trying to play you like to play with you like that. And she's like, but you did play with me. It's like, sorry, but that's why we had to split. Sunita said Miss Bay Anthony is something has something big hiding that he don't want to go to court. Yeah, it's like we done made up a reason why he's not going to court. Because there has to be something, because you can't be that dumb not to do it. Angela said we don't get much skits today. They'll probably release them all at let me stop. They'll probably release them all later on. And to my white Chase and Lee's behaving like they still in love. I know. I'm like, what? Come on now. And Dolly says when Brittany had Ali to investigate Anthony, he had offshore accounts too. I'm sure he still does. Um, Dolly said, okay, like, y'all like and share and all the things. Chase looked like a deer caught in headlights when he saw Liz. Yeah, I'm surprised that was the first time that they actually met all this time. Angela's thanking me for another great live. I thank you, Angela. Y'all have been in here and y'all have been chatting and talking and all the good things. So I appreciate y'all, because it won't be a great live unless y'all are here to interact. Definitely wouldn't be great, because I couldn't listen to myself that long. I'd listen to myself for 10 minutes and I'd be like, well, don't nobody want to talk to me, so we gonna have to go. uh Della Marie said Amber's miscarriage. That was Amber's baby boy. Oh Lord, this lightning and thundering out here now. Yeah, it's telling me it's time to go. Angela said, yes, it was at the trap house. Yes, he was at the trap house, but oh, he never brought him inside. I was like, I did not know baby Kai was at the trap house. See, Anthony, I was trying to give you a little bit of credit for not having that baby in a place that might have been dangerous. Yvette says, oh, my brain clicking now. Can y'all imagine Diesel and Shayla? Now that would be wild. Yeah, now I would put Shayla with Dan before I put her with Diesel. Yeah, Diesel would be too deep for Shayla. She couldn't handle Diesel. And then he was messing with her mother, so that definitely wouldn't work. Dolly said they were in the vehicle outside when Anthony went inside. Okay. Anthony showed Denisha the side he should have shown Amber. Well, Denisha's testing the waters. Yeah, she is. She she gaining. She's doing her homework, gathering her data. First, Denisha's mother, then the cousin. We think he gonna bring the mother down first, and then the cousin gonna come. So business and sorry in Anthony DNA. Let me see. Oh, we got a new skit with Amber's lawyer Constance. Oh. All right. See, y'all got some action anyway. Bree was saying, sorry guys, I'm back. My daughter's hair appointment, new skit with she presented. Oh, good thing. Good thing. I know Amber was gonna be pissed. All right. So we did get something today. All right, Anthony, something else that's offers an insult. I'm sure it was. What she's saying, why are the writers trying to make a big deal out of something that Chase and Liz had when they were in seventh grade. That's ridiculous. They were in seventh grade. I thought they was in their 20s. I thought Liz said they was in their 20s. Yeah. Michelle, I think she did say they were in their 20s. Because he was DJ whoever Bread. So that was he was a DJ at that time. Now I don't know if him and Candace were together during that time. Thanks, Dolly. It's definitely been awesome. These are what was Angelina, yeah. Oh yeah. They were grown adults. Liz said that they were in their 20s. Thank you all for stopping by. Thank you all for making this another great live. I have free Saturdays and Sundays all the way till the end of August. So I'll be here every weekend until the end of August. And then at the end of August, I'm going on another trip. So y'all know I I'm traveling as much as I can, as long as I can at this point. All right. Hey Willie, sorry, but we are getting ready to cut out. You can watch if anybody just came in, you always welcome to go and watch the replay. Most definitely. Just don't forget to hit the like button. And you can even put comments in on when you do watching the replay. But I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I went overtime today because we didn't have us live yesterday. But yeah, he was DJ Southern Bread, and that's what Wayne still calls him, Southern Bread. Oh, so Yvette, you're saying if something happened to Ben, if he passes or something, then only where Anthony, he knows where Anthony's money is. I think Darren probably knows as well. So they'll be able to get the money. But that's all they did on Constance and Amber was made that pitiful offer. I don't know if they're married in real life or not. Somebody said the other day that they were not married in real life. So, all right, guys, let me get out of here. Wonderful live. I thank everybody that stopped by, everybody that interacted in the chat. If you were just in the bushes, I thank you also because most of you who stopped by and were in the bushes did like the video, which is very important because YouTube sees that you get interaction, they push your stuff out to more people so you can get a larger audience. But I thank you guys, and I'll see you around. I'll be over on Nanya's channel. Um, yeah, I was canceled yesterday because we had a family picnic, so I was out there all morning. And I think I had to leave home at 9 o'clock, so there was no way I was doing a live at any time. If I could have gone like for 12, I would have did a live earlier yesterday, but I had to be out there for 9, so I couldn't. But I will see you all next Saturday and Sunday, and I'm sure I'll be on Nanya's channel either in the afternoon or at night. All right, guys. Thank you for stopping by, everybody.